Hey guys, it's Dawn Music here, and I know I'm a day late, so I'm going to try to make it up to you. But yesterday was a bit of a crazy day, what with more coming out and me doing two different reactions to it. One is analysis of the music, the second one is analysis of the visuals in the video, and it was just an awesome day, but very, very hectic. I was supposed to do this video yesterday, and I didn't get the opportunity, so I'm doing it now. So this is a big one. This was one of their huge events. A song that's still performed live regularly by The Warning in 2023 touring. One of their most requested songs, "Survive," the song that has touched the hearts of so many adults and was written when they were so young. And I know it's because they're voracious readers and have huge imaginations and very creative and empathetic people as well, I believe. But this performance I chose today, it's, of course, again, the third song from my deep dive into the 21st Century Blood album, which was the full-length debut album by The Warning. I chose the Whiskey A Go-Go performance. No, don't get mad at me, okay? Don't get mad at me. Please don't get upset, and I understand that you guys love lots of other performances too. So do I. I've seen some performances over and over and over and over again, and I have nothing more to offer than what has already been explained about those performances. The band has matured so much that I wanted to check out the Whiskey A Go-Go performance. This is 2020 now. We're at 2 for this performance. So 3 years ago. Just over 3 years ago, it was January 2020. I love this show. I love this show very much. The audio is very well recorded. The video is very you are there live sort of feeling. And the performances are excellent. I love their visuals. I love their performance. I love the energy. I love the small club, but legendary club vibe. And it's just going to be cool. So this is what we're going to do. Survive live at the Whiskey A Go-Go, January 2020. Let's check this out.
Don't come to me saying that you cared, that I was the one who was never there. Or don't come with your lights in the air. You keep blaming me and it ain't fair. Or don't come telling me that you're worried that I'll be hurting if you're gone. Don't come to me saying that you're sorry. You words mean nothing. You words mean nothing at all.
Okay, let's stop it and go over that. Lots of interesting things to talk about here. First of all, the song was originally written with a piano intro. Live, Alejandra had played on piano, and she did an awesome job. I know they stopped touring with piano at some point, and that's when they started doing the guitar intro. I've seen a few recent performances of this, just cell phone video and Rudy video of their current 2023 tour, and some earlier performances than that. And generally speaking, Danny is playing that intro guitar part completely clean, without any overdrive. Except in a recent performance that was hilarious, where she accidentally hit. I should try to find the one afterwards, actually. I'll find the one. We'll talk about that one afterwards. It was a foot pedal error. That was awesome. But in this one, she's got a mild overdrive, which is a good sound. I really like it. Just a mild overdrive makes it sound like it's a little heavier, a little cooler, a little grungier, but not in your face and not overdriven and no feedback, and that very cool sound. Secondly, the bass guitar tone. When Alejandra comes in, which is halfway through the intro, she's playing a cool accent. Now, this exemplifies how well she plays the instrument. Danny, awesome, great playing. She does dynamics dun, 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 when at this point she does that, which, for the record, is easier to do on a guitar than on a bass with a pick than with fingerstyle on a bass consistently. Alejandra is playing fingerstyle And that's not to diminish Danny's capability. Danny played perfectly, as she is supposed to. Alejandra played it better than I would have expected a lot of bass players to play it as far as the dynamics go. You can hear, so clearly there's a compressor on the bass guitar. Whether she played with that live, I don't know. I suspect it's a studio compressor as they mixed this live performance for broadcast on YouTube. But regardless, it had to have a bass, dedicated bass line for the compressor to work. So well done recording guys and mixing guys for planning ahead to have a proper bass feed so that you could track things and compress the bass properly without interfering with other instruments. You can hear the bass compressor kicking in. So what it sounds like is when she hits an emphasized note, it gives a cool percussive attack that triggers the envelope of the compressor pedal. So I guess I should talk about compressors. Let's talk about compressors for a moment, shall we? So a compressor is a misnomer. It's a popular guitar pedal. It's a popular rack effect for studios. It's a popular thing used on almost all parts of rock recording and pop recording. Almost everything other than a lot of classical recording. And even then, occasionally it can be used, but only sparingly and only when absolutely needed. Generally to compensate for recording flaws. But in rock music and pop music and commercial music, compressors are used on all sorts of instruments all the time. Drums, it's part of the sound of drums in studio recording and good live recording. It's part of the sustain effect on a guitar generally, unless you're very lucky with your amp setup. But even then, the amp will have built-in compression, either as a controller or just by the design of the way it amplifies. A bass guitar happens to sound great with a compressor. Doesn't need it if you're a good bass player. Don't need it. But it's an effective tool in your arsenal and gives the sound that we're hearing here that you wouldn't get otherwise. She is doing good dynamics. And I don't know if you could tell from my singing there, but I'm attempting to demonstrate that beat 1 is at this level. The next two notes she plays are down this level. The next note she plays is at this level in the middle, almost as high as top first note, but not quite. The next one is down there, and this, and then that's, and then beat 1 again up high. And it's subtle, and it's consistent, and it's extremely accurate, and her tempo and rhythm, of course, as Pau, her sister on drums, has said publicly in a giant presentation she gave at a college, I believe, music school or something. Ale is a machine. Pau doesn't comprehend how Ale is so good. So that machine of Alejandra, the bassist, is so consistent that when you throw a compressor on that, which I suspect she wasn't playing through at the time, because I don't believe she uses a compressor for her general playing, from what I've seen. So that probably means it was added afterwards. For her playing to be that accurate, that you can add a compressor afterwards, so she wasn't hearing the effect of it, so she wasn't knowing she was triggering it right or wrong or whatever, and she wasn't relying upon it. She was just playing really well. To be able to turn that on and have it trigger exactly right, it's cool. So what a compressor actually does, this is going to be a long one, I'm sorry. What a compressor actually does is I guess it does compress, but the general effect in the end is a sustain effect. As a signal comes along, there's time going forward, there's time coming along, and if you look at a waveform as it's going along, say we're hitting a note, the signal strength will go up. And if you hit a note and it sustains, it'll go up and then slowly come down over time. If you hit a bunch of notes, it'll go up, 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 right? This is 0, this is silence, this is loud, right? So the signal goes along like that. A compressor is set to know the level, the volume of the note, the amount of sound as it watches the sound coming in that you want it to trigger at, which is like make the compressor do something, compress. And it's a knob or a virtual knob level, and you can measure the amounts. You can watch the faders. You generally need to watch the levels move, not the faders, the meters go. and you watch the signal strength of the instrument that you're playing back or recording or whatever. And when it goes up to a certain level, you make sure that the threshold, which is the sensitivity level, is subtly below that, a little ways below that, or it could be a long way below that level, so that quiet notes you play, quiet notes you hit, whatever, go under the radar. They're not hitting that threshold. How am I going to do this? Or not hitting the threshold. Hold on. See if you can hear me. So we have signal, we have 0 level. And we're going to set our threshold to here. Here. This is cranked up. This is where we're setting our threshold. Signal comes along, it goes like this. Poof, poof. So at this point, at the beginning of the note, at the beginning of the attack of the note, it's exceeding the threshold. Compressor enabled at this point. Bam. Triggered. As the sound comes down over time, it goes lower, the threshold is no longer exceeded. And then there are other adjustments that say, okay, we've gone down, and then you have a time limit and a lower level limit, at which point, after it's been below the threshold for enough milliseconds, or after it's been below the threshold by a certain number of decibels, or both, then the compressor kicks out of the circuit. It stops compressing, basically. It doesn't kick out of the circuit, but it stops compressing, right? And what compression means is anything above that threshold, once it's triggered in, you have a multiplier, and it's a knob or a switch or something, and it'll be like times 2, times 4, times 8, times 16, or some variable amount between that, infinity. And it basically is like how much above the level that we've exceeded the level by, how much that we've exceeded the level by on that threshold do we want to reduce the level by. It's like a volume control that is riding it automatically. So once the trigger is hit, if we have it set to times 2, a 2 times reduction. So instead of the level coming along like this, boom, it's going to go up, and it'll go half of that distance. It'll go up to here, like that. So it stops the peak from hitting so hard, and so it's quietening down the attack that exceeded that and triggered that threshold. After it's been below the threshold long enough, it no longer affects the volume, and the volume effectively stops reducing so fast. It almost bumps up. It can actually bump up depending on how you set the compressor. But basically, it catches loud attacks and makes them so they're not too sharp, too intense, too loud. And in doing so, it changes the tone of the instrument. It changes the tone of the attack. It makes it thicker. It takes out a little bit of the brightness. It adds some of the thud to the sound. I'm getting very subjective here, but is a general way of describing the tonal effect of most compressors on most audio when you grab the attack and squash it some with the compressor. It thickens it up. So rather than a loudness change, it's a tone change from the attack. And you can hear that tone change on the bass tone when Ally is playing here. Let's listen to it.
You're gone. Don't come to me air. You keep blaming me and it ain't fair. Or don't come telling me that you're worth.
You can hear it when she comes in. Dum, 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 dum. There's a dum on those loud notes. There's a depth to the tone that isn't natural. It's from a compressor adding that. And it isn't dramatically louder than the other notes. It's a little louder, so it isn't like it's compressing a crazy amount. You can have it set to like 16 to 1. So if it goes above that threshold, it's compressed 16 times. So it's hardly changing volume. It's just changing tone, or infinity. So it won't go above the threshold at all as it goes along. It'll just thicken up and squish it all into that one volume space. That's called a limiter, which is like limiting the volume no matter what. Nothing can get over it. But she's using a compressor, or the audio mixer is using a compressor on the bass that is maybe 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, something like that. And it's just at that level where she's hitting those loud notes that takes place. And when it does, it adds a boom, boom to the tone that's heavier. It's very cool.
In the air, You keep blaming me and it ain't fair. Or don't come telling me that you're worried that I'll be hurting if you're gone. Don't come to me saying that you're sorry. You were.
And I mean, she plays very well, and she doesn't play super hard with her right fingers either, which gives it a lot of natural sustain on such a beautiful instrument that she's playing always, no matter which gig she's at. She's playing Spectres and stuff. They're all incredible. Or her Mustang, same thing, but the Spectres even more so. But that's just an incredible sound. Compressors are really cool, and they're used on all recordings that we listen to, just so you know, like everything other than, as I said, a lot of classical music and maybe some jazz. They're also used a lot on snare drums, on toms, and on kick drums particularly, to give that punch and effect without it being like just ridiculously loud and in your face.
Words mean nothing. Your words mean nothing at all.
You can hear it on the kick drum too. There's a lot of attack and depth to it without it being deafeningly loud, but you can still hear the quiet parts of the kick drum as well, which you wouldn't if it wasn't for the compressor. Pow's another example. Her drum playing is exceptional. Her foot control is incredible. She emphasizes the beats of the measure as you go through beat 1, beat 3, etc., or just the accent notes really well by hitting it harder with her foot. In real life, that makes a big difference in the volume if you're listening to an acoustic drummer playing without any recording and without any mics. It's much louder on those notes if you're playing it like she does, and much quieter in the other ones, to the point where you might not even hear it very much. You always hear the moving notes, even the softer ones, with her drum playing because of the compression on the kick drum, which is a standard good engineering thing to do. It's not her responsibility, but I'm sure she approves of it. It's the engineer's setup responsibility to do. Notice the drum part here. Snares on 1 dun dun 1 dun 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 4 1 and 4 1 and 4 1 3 and 4 1 2 E 1 2 E. It's E, not and. 1 2 E 3 4 1 2 E 4 1 2 E 3 4 1 2 E 3 4 1. That's cool to use the snare and the open hi-hat. Remember, you lift your left foot up on the hi-hat and it makes that sound. I've described it in other videos. Hold your left foot down, it just goes when you hit the hi-hat. So she's using the hi-hat, I believe, and the snare on beats 1, the E of 2, and 4. And she's using kick on chung boom chung boom chung chung boom chung boom chung. 1 2 kicks on 2 2 2 2, and the E of 3 is a kick. So it's just right before the second and third of the snare hits. Grab one kick drum. No, she did the crash with the snare drum instead of the kick. It's a little unusual, but it works. It sounds good. Her snare sounds so good that it's thick enough.
That I was the one of your dreams, that your heart belonged to me. Now I believe I must move on because I think you won't come home.
I'm ignoring the vocals here. I shouldn't be because they're incredible. Danny sings this song so well. I mean, she co-wrote it. I'm not surprised, but I mean, it's an excellent vocal workhorse for Danny. And Pow is singing third harmonies with her. I think it's Pow who's singing the high part. No, she's not. I think it's Danny up there. I think they swapped parts. That's Danny. So I think then Danny moves up to, and Pow takes over the, right? I think that's Pow taking the lower part that Danny was singing. I could be wrong. Let's see. Unison. That's Ally in unison with Danny, maybe Pow too. So unison means singing exactly the same part. It's not harmony. It's together. Just doubling it up and thickening up, right?
You said that I was the one of your dreams.
Nope. Danny's singing the low part. Pow singing the high part.
That your heart belonged to me. Now I believe I must move on because I think you won't go home.
And then they trade off. That's cool. So Pow sings the high part for the first half of it, and the low part in the second half.
Oh, with my broken heart and
Pow sings.
you said that I was the one of your dreams. That your heart belonged to me.
Now Pow sings.
I believe I must move on because I think you won't go home. Come home.
That's cool that Pow does that. They worked that out carefully. Man, that would be hard to remember live. Unison? Pow and Danny?
Even if you're not by my side.
Awesome guitar sound here, by the way. Man, that Helix she's using, I loved the sound of that thing. I missed that. Also, notice the piano track in the background. That's Pow, I believe, who recorded all these parts. I could be wrong. I know she recorded all the Queen of the Murder Scene piano parts, but I actually don't know. I don't own this album. I own it on iTunes, but I don't have like a hard copy with all the documentation, so I don't know who played piano in the studio for this. I'm just assuming that it was Pow, but let me know if you know. I know Ale played it live in the intro. Maybe she played piano on it. Who knows? Pow singing, and Ale saying, Danny singing, and really building that up. Awesome stuff.
But don't come to me saying that you cared, that I was the one who was never there.
Okay, so what is with Pow and playing unusual, complex math puzzle drum beats while singing lead? Why does she do that to herself? I know because she can, because she's good enough to do it and she knows it. Because it must be incredibly difficult to learn these parts. Same with Disciple, right? It's like she's playing time while Danny's doing lead. And then it's time for her to sing lead. Oh, so let's just make this drum part way more difficult. Listen to the drum part here. It's not like it's difficult to play. It's difficult to memorize and learn and perform well while you're doing a completely different thing, singing lead well at the same time. That's just not fair.
Even if you're not by my side, think this time I'll say goodbye.
I love that. So she's doing these crash things, cymbals, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Digga, 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 on the cymbals, on two different cymbals. I think the left one's a hi-hat and the right one's her ride crash that she uses, kind of. Let's take a listen to those again before she get that.
Even if you're not by my side, think this time I'll say goodbye.
And then she goes over to the Dom for a couple of hits in the middle. That's cool. And now back to the big Tom build up.
But don't come to me saying that you cared, that I was the one who was never there. But don't come with your life.
The hi-hat in particular. It's like Stuart Copeland-esque.
You keep playing me and don't come telling me.
And then this thing where she plays like these big fills while still singing lead.
That you're worried that I'll be.
And now she's playing a much simpler drum part while Danny sings lead. Not simple, but less mathematically puzzling, you know?
Hurting if you're gone. Don't come to me saying that you're sorry. You worth me nothing. You worth me nothing at all.
Ale is on the vocal. All three of them. There's Ale. Nice thing to show her.
You said that we were perfect for each other, that I was like no other. I never knew this was to give you when I was up every place.
So Danny definitely sang the high part there, with Pow singing the low part there. You can hear her voice. Interesting.
You said that you were gonna keep your promise of loving me always, but now I know that it ain't true, and I'm so glad that I left you.
Which means that every time they do that sort of section of the song, they have a different arrangement of vocals. just to make sure that it's even harder to remember how to play the song. It's frustrating. I have a hard time remembering lyrics to the songs I sing. I have lyric sheets in front of me when I'm performing often. I'm bad about memorizing. I just don't memorize well. I memorize melodies and instrumental parts pretty well, but words I don't memorize well. And keeping track of multiple things at once I'm not good at. And this is just so admirable to see how much work they put into this stuff and how much effort and practice and rehearsal they must have done over the years when they were young, because they played this just as well when they were little-ish, much younger. It's amazing. I just want to say the studio version of this I actually really love. Some people really find the studio version less interesting. I love the studio version. It's interesting. It has some extra little parts in it and layers in it that are cool, and she plays the guitar part a little differently in a couple of places. I really enjoy it. But anyway, this live version is awesome.
Oh, I know I will survive, even if you're not by my side. Think this time I'll say goodbye, but don't come to me, say that you care.
I forgot about the guitar part here. It's such a cool guitar part. I absolutely love the guitar part here. Whatever it is, it's a lot of offbeats and cool things here that make this song special. This is the song where Danny is making the song special. Danny and Pow, as opposed to Ale. I mean, Ale's wonderful, but she definitely sits back more in this song. While the guitar part is unique and the drum part is unique and the vocals are cool.
Say goodbye. But don't come to me, say that you cared, that I was the one who was never there. But don't come away with your lights in the air. You keep having me entertainment. Don't come telling me that you're worried, that I'll be hurting if you're gone. Don't come to me saying that you're sorry. You worth me nothing. You worth me nothing at all.
Interesting tracks in the background. Piano and guitar. I love how the drums build up here. That's cool. I know I shouldn't stop it, but I have to. I'm doing that so we don't finish it before I've had a chance to look at this. The guitar part that comes in here, very cool. I love how Pow and Ale are singing in unison here, although I mostly hear Pow. But the drums are fascinating how they build up.
You worth me.
That's a cool beat. That's the first initial beat she does in this breakdown. I was wrong. It's on the hi-hat. That's cool. I had it wrong. That's it. There we go. Okay, that's very clever. There's a little twist to it. I like it. You can see the hi-hat open and close here. Open, close. Open, close. And that's the sound. crash cymbal, but it's the same beat. Where does she change? Right here, she changes the drum beat. Right now. It's got her foot off the hi-hat pedal a little bit, so it's singing through, but it's not super wide open. And the kick drum is simplified. I think she's doing kick, 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 I believe. And the snare is alternating, is doubling the kick on 2 and 4. Kick, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. But with the snare, there's another kick. So it's like kick, snare and kick, snare and kick, kick and snare. You know what I mean? Like at the same time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think that's what she's doing. She could be going kick, snare, but I think she's doing kick, kick and snare at the same time. Kick, kick and snare at the same time. Yep, you can see the kick drum moving. The warning logo, you can see it going in time. I was right. Now she changed the drum beat again. So she's got her left foot quite a bit off, or maybe all the way off the hi-hat pedal now. And she hits the hi-hat with her hand. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and hat, snare, hat, snare, hat, snare, hat, snare, hat, crash, hat, snare, hat, snare, hat. While on the right hand, she's doing ride cymbal on the bell, I believe. Right here. No, she's not. She's doing something way more complicated than that. What the heck? No, she's doing hi-hat, snare, hat, snare, hat, snare, hat, snare, hat, snare with her left hand, and in the right hand, she's doing the same thing. Oh no, she's not doing. Oh my gosh, she's doing the offbeats with her left hand. She's doing that with her right hand. She's going crash, 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 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and with her right hand. With her left hand, she's doing E. She's doing E snare, E snare, E. Left right snare, left right snare, left right snare. I can't say it in words, but that's cool. More complicated than I realized. Now she's doing bell. Now, look at her right hand. Bell, ride, bell, ride, bell, ride, bell. Same symbol. Hit the bell, which is the middle part. It gets a ding sound. Move your hand over here. Hit the main body of the ride cymbal, and it's just a ride, sort of a ride crash, but it's normal, like a psh sort of sound, especially on a ride crash. Hit the bell, so she gets a different sound on 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and with her right hand on one cymbal. Starting right here, while doing the same pattern with the left hand. Oh my gosh, she's actually nuts. She's doing more than that. She's going dig-a-ding, ding, dig-a-ding, ding, dig-a-ding, ding. She's bouncing it on the right, on the bell, the right hand. Man, this is impressive. Sometimes she is. Sometimes she's doing singles, but sometimes she's doing a couple. Sometimes she's going dig-a-ding, ding, 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 dig-a-ding, ding, dig-a-ding. Now she's over to her favorite crowd symbol on the right there. China crash, whatever it is. What's she doing? Is she hitting her tom? Between? What the heck? She's hitting her tom with the right hand, alternating with the crash, while she's doing all that stuff still with her left hand. Not to mention her foot and both of her feet. See her left foot's going up and down? It's opening and closing. So her left foot's going, doing the jazz 2 and 4, 2 and 4 thing at the same time. Or 1 and 3. It might be straight, actually, which is even harder almost. While the right foot's doing the kick drum. Dung, 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 dung. Actually, it's doing 1, 3, 1, 3 on the kick, I think. This is too intense. Her right hand is insane. Oh, she's got another hi-hat over there. That's what she's hitting. It's not the tom until she needs to. It's another hi-hat. So between her right hand and left hand, she's hitting 2 different hi-hats going kits, 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 kits. This is nuts. All the while, the kick, 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 kick with snare on 2 and 4, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, kick and snare, kick and snare, that thing. It hasn't stopped the entire time. Let's get a different crash for the downbeat. Bass solo! I love how they ended with the bass solo. And Danny points up to draw attention to her sister, proud sister. That was insane. So the guitar solo. I love how Danny's all over the stage. Fun stuff. Take advantage of the fact that she's not singing. She has to run back into the guitar pedal here. Right now. Boom. Octaves. 2 strings and 2 frets apart. Although it could be 2 strings and 3 frets apart, depending on the string combination. Probably is. Don't da 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 down octave. Da, 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 da. It's just minor scale notes that she's using in really effective ways to lead up to the 1 every time when she has to land on it. Seven, eight. She changes it sometimes. Lots of noise with the effects. Awesome stuff. She knows she has a giant echo on her guitar, and it's just a cool ending. Nice work. That is so cool. I hope you guys could hear that through it. Sorry, I'm talking through it, but really cool. Man, oh man. And I know there's a lot of talking after this. I checked out the end of the video before I checked out the first part, so I'm aware of that. Really cool performance of that. Fascinating song. The drumming in this is insane. The guitar playing is very good too. And I love how Danny changes up the solo a little bit every time. I just realized that she's playing it differently in various recordings I've heard. It's almost the same and I didn't notice it. But she sometimes goes to a 7 instead of a 2 or 4 or 5, and up to 1 instead of 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 7. Interesting choices and changes. It's changes. That's the state of my brain. All right, that was The Warning, Survive, live at the Whiskey, a Go-Go. Incredible, legendary place. One of the legendary concerts by some of the rock's biggest superstars, like Jimi Hendrix and people like that. The Whiskey, a Go-Go. And 80s superstars too. All the biggies performed here. So, that was an outstanding performance. Flawless too, just like so good. Man, oh man. That That's one of their longest songs, I think, isn't it? They don't have a lot of very long songs. That one's right up there. And that's just that whole jam section at the end. I mean, they have to keep it organized because they have a track with the piano going on. So they can't just like open it up and just solo, which is always kind of unfortunate. That's the drawback of having tracks. But they don't need to because they have plenty of time. They worked it into the organization of it. And again, the track is a piano track. I think briefly one rhythm guitar in one section I heard. And one like maybe guitar hitting the dead strings with a reverb on effect that I heard a couple of times just to make it go boom, which is kind of cool. Adds atmosphere to it. That's all I heard. And it's just neat stuff that makes the song special live. But really, all they need is the three of them. Even without the tracks, it would sound amazing. Right, so I almost forgot to show you this. I appreciate the person who took this footage and posted it on YouTube. Yeah, I'm sure you know who you are. I don't remember the name of the user who submitted this, but it's on YouTube. So I'm credit given to the person who took this footage and who posted it on YouTube. It's not mine, but this is hilarious. So this was in Utah, May, I believe 8th of this month, the 8th of this month, 2023. And they played Survive, and Danny accidentally had her guitar set for like shredding heavy metal, I'm gonna rip your face off tone, rather than a nice clean tone for the song.
Thanks for coming to Salt Lake! The Beehive stays!
Survive. You can actually hear her guitar overdrive, humming. Her amp's like, I'm ready to rip your face off. She should have known at this point. Stop it. Let's start again. But it was too late. She starts screwing up because she's just like, oh crap. I gotta fix this sound.
Salt Lake!
And check out
The Beehive stays!
LA Saves today by coming in with on bass with the guitar part when Danny's busy trying to fix the guitar. It's awesome. These mistakes happen. It happens to every guitarist. Guitarists have so many pedals and so many effects to deal with. It's impossible to pull it off perfectly every night. Especially when you've thrown songs into the set that are not planned and stuff like this, then you've got your patches are all out of order. And it's not Danny's fault. It's the sort of accident that's going to happen inevitably. But it was awesome because it was just so wrong. And so metal and so hard rock and so live, and this is just perfect. I love it. But it clearly threw Danny for a bit of a loop. She's just like, yeah, I can't solve this problem fast. Just sing, pow, and pretend it's going on. But then Ali jumped in playing the guitar part on the bass, which is just killer. I thought that was awesome. Wanted to share it with you. Again, thanks for the original poster for having this on YouTube for people like me to enjoy, and the rest of you. Awesome. So that was great. That was day 3 on day 4 of of my 21st Century Blood deep dive, the debut album by The Warning. And I'm going to try, if I have time. I may not. If I can, I'm going to try to move on to the 4th song as well at some point this evening. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that wasn't too boring. And I hope that the talk about compressors was vaguely clear and useful. I could teach about all the academics of it and actually show you how they work, but yeah, if you want me to, I will, but otherwise I won't. I'll just keep sticking with relevance to music that we're listening to, because I think that's a more interesting context to see how things work. All right, rock on.